Black Legend, You See the Trouble With Me must be one of the greatest bootlegs of all time. Pressed up onto vinyl, Ciro couldn't keep up with the demand for the track. It wasn't all plain sailing getting the track to release stage either. We trace the samples and tell their epic stories in an amazing episode. I'm Felix Leiter, international DJ and producer.
My name's Dan Nightingale from the Have a Word podcast.
And together we're going to explore the samples that feature in tracks you love in a show we like to call
Show Me the Sample.
This week we're hitting a club weapon from the year 2000. Black Legend, You See the Trouble With Me. It was a UK #1 and a global smash hit. From white label underground hype to mainstream radio smash, it's got it all. Let's check it out.
1975, we brought you an album with a song.
You must have cut some shapes in Tacky Jacks for this one, mate.
This girl's gonna drive me crazy. She trouble with me. Can't do nothing. And it's plain as can be. Girl, you're gonna drive me crazy.
Right, let's leave that one there. Black Legend is just one alias of Italian DJ and producer Ciro Sasso. He originally made the track in about 7 hours as a bootleg. He pressed it up to vinyl and started driving around to Italian record shops who snapped it up. They sold around 30,000 bootleg copies on white label vinyl, exporting some of them to the UK, where Radio 1 legend Pete Tong bought a copy and played it on his show. Having made a lot of waves on the underground club circuit, labels came looking to exploit the track commercially. It was picked up by Time, who set out to get it cleared for commercial release. Now, my DJs who are watching, I want you to drop me your favourite bootleg in the comments below. Best one wins a 3 years access to our exclusive Patreon content. Anyone who puts one of my bootlegs down there stands an excellent chance of winning. If you love the show and you want more of our chat, then support the show on Patreon. Link in the show notes below. Dan, tell the people what they get if they sign up.
A weekend break in Prestatyn with my wife and 2 children. But not me.
I'll tell you what you get. Access.
Sorry, go on.
Access to 1 hour long episodes uncut before the shorter YouTube edit is released. You all get extended versions of our mini episodes, exclusive episodes, podcasts, and loads more.
Amazing. Show me the sample.
In the words of Ciro, aka Black Legend, the whole track is one big sample. He created most of the beat from sampled sections of another remix he liked. What I mean by that is he sampled a kick drum, snares and claps from other tracks, and then he created a loop that formed the basis of his track. But we have 2 prominent samples to discuss, mate. First up, and this is what gives it the underground vibe. Dimensional Holofonic sound, The House of God, released in 1990, often shortened to DHS. It was the alias of a UK artist called Benjamin Stokes. He recorded the highly influential track in Chicago in 1989. Unusual for a club record, its versions were only around 3 minutes long, meaning DJs would often buy 2 copies of the record to extend it while playing it live in the mix. I don't think it's what he was going for, but it is a genius stroke of commercial marketing, mate. There are different versions of DHS, and this might not be the exact one sampled by Black Legend, but it's got the best video, so we're going to watch this one. I'll link the other versions below. So this is DHS House of God.
I tell you that it is so important to talk about what God is doing, power of God, how God is operating in the earth today. I am excited.
I'd be so bumped by this tune if I was covering it like.
God's house. Isn't that powerful? Now let me tell you something. We're still beautifying God's house. I need 100 people to write me this week. I am excited to fall in love with doing something for the house of God. The house of God.
Hey. Oh.
So that's where it gets that little famous da-dunk-dunk loop from. There are other versions, and you can check them out below. I'll link them up. So we've built the underground vibe for the track. Now we need a nice big vocal sample. Ciro happened to upon a VHS recording of Barry White playing live in Flanders in Belgium. He liked what he heard and he decided to grab it for his bootleg. Let's take a listen, mate. Now I tried to cut this down, but you've just got to watch the whole fucking thing. I don't know if YouTube's going to take it down, but it's just so great. Enjoy this, mate.
1975, we brought you an album with a song. We're gonna do it for you now. I wanna thank you.
Mate, just check out what the big man does.
We're gonna get out here and work the audience a little bit. Ooh, yeah. I'm like a blind man who lost his way. Can't see nothing.
When I was watching this today, I was just like, maybe want to go to a big, cheesy 80s stadium show. Like,
see the trouble with me. Can't do nothing without my baby. And it's plain.
shaking people's hands.
This girl's gonna drive me crazy.
Just pressing the flesh, mate.
Mate, the violin players know what they're about. The dick.
Oh, you're right. Now, ooh, yeah. I walk alone these streets late at night. Cold and lonely. Everything I do is wrong. It's never right. I'm lonely for lonely. See the trouble with me.
You hear the samples in the breakdown, but I just couldn't skip this stuff. It's just too good.
And it's plain as can be. Oh, this girl is gonna drive me crazy. Come on, y'all, clap your hands.
Start to hear the samples here.
Oh, what the room is like. Sit down. I see you.
Sit down. Sit the fuck down.
The trouble with me. Can't do nothing. Can't feel
Go on, Barry. I'd have fucked it.
plain as can be. Oh,
Oh,
drive me crazy.
like an evangelical preacher, isn't it?
With me.
Amazing.
Can I get a witness?
Can't see
Loud and loud and loud and loud.
plain.
Jesus, speak it to me now.
This girl's gonna drive me crazy.
video connection is pausing and flicking, and it's making the video seem more mental than it is. At one point, he said something to a disabled guy. The video that I was watching broke, and it would look like he was kissing a disabled guy for like an offensive amount of time.
All right.
Come on, see, can't do nothing.
I'm gonna need a donation.
Can't feel nothing. Come on.
Right, we'll leave it there. He's just so good, though.
That was brilliant. Show me the showmanship.
You See the Trouble With Me was released in 1976 on Barry White's self-produced fifth studio album. The song was co-written by Ray Parker Jr. of Ghostbusters fame. What a fucking tune that is, by the way. Barry Eugene Carter. He took his father's surname to become his stage name, Barry White. He died in 2003 at the age of 58, having amassed over 100 million record sales across 19 studio albums. He was nominated for 11 Grammys, winning twice, and posthumously inducted to the Dance Music Hall of Fame. I don't care what anyone says, the man is a stone cold legend, and that video just kept going to prove it.
How much would you love to gone to the fucking after party? Mate, his band, the full band, the backing singers, and all those dry-looking Puritans playing violin. What a mental after party that would be, with Barry White sweating and doing cocaine. So jealous.
Have you ever gotten it down to a bit of Barry? What's your sexy time music, mate?
Listen, then, now... anything post 1989, if you put Barry White on to try and bang a girl to, you need, and I'll put this politely, to fuck off.
Shout to my boy Ridney. If you love this story and you want to hear it in Black Legend's own words, go and check out his Secrets of a Dance Hit podcast. It's absolutely wicked. I was chatting to him on WhatsApp today while we were putting this episode together, and I said to him, yo, is that Barry White concert that Ciro sampled on YouTube? And he said, I don't know. And then about 5 minutes later, he WhatsApped me the link to that video we've just watched from the live Barry White performance. And he messaged Black Legend and he'd messaged him the link back. So we are watching our version on YouTube of the exact VHS that he sampled. Because obviously, before every time he played that live, he didn't just say, in 1975, we brought you an album with a song.
Yeah.
So thanks to Ridney and thanks to Ciro for the help on this one. So our boy Ciro has bootlegged the shit out of some drums from a remix, an obscure but influential techno track produced by a Brit in Chicago, and then he sampled Big Barry live from a recording on VHS. How the hell do we get all this sorted out into a commercial release? Well, the publishing was cleared by Chappell Warner, who took 100% for their trouble. The master recording was owned by Universal, who declined its use, which meant they had to recreate the sample. If you want to know more about the legal and financial implications of sampling music and when and how you need to get samples replayed, check out our special episode, and it'll be linked above. It took Ciro around 7 hours to create that bootleg, but it took him nearly 2 months of working every day to try and recreate the sample, including a Barry White sound-alike. In steps, I love this bit of the story, in steps Elroy Powell, who features in the video. He was born in Sunderland, mate, and the Mackem goes by the stage name of Spoonface. Get this, he's also appeared in EastEnders, Star Wars, among loads of other things. He kills the re-sing, and the track goes on to become an Ibiza classic. Dan, what you saying to Black Legend? Good use of samples. Did Ciro Black Legend do as a good solid? Did he do a good track? Did you not enjoy it? Tell us what you think, mate.
It's not a track I've heard loads since, but when it came out, what year was it? Came out 98?
2000.
When it came out, it really was a massive hit. Like, it was big. It was a big hit. It got played all the time because it was cool and it was weird and it was soul and funk, and then it was like techno in the middle of it, and it still worked and everyone loved it. So yeah, I mean, you can't criticize it. It's not a song I've thought of since, but at the time it was really good. But I'm never going to criticize anything that gets us watching that much Barry White from a live show. Fucking hell. So great use of sample.
So would you say touche, Black Legend?
Oh, I mean, especially because they haven't put me in my place or scored a point against me. Then particularly I would say touche.
Mate, I think we're really owning it now. There's a lot of Facebook chat, there's a lot of Patreon chat, there's some tweets going around. I think we're just going to have to start owning this, and basically we might even have to start, rating it out of touches. We might have to create some, we might have to lean into this so hard that we just touche, Black Legend. Touche. Subscribe to Show Me the Sample on Patreon. Yeah. Get longer uncut episodes with much more banter 1 week before the shorter YouTube edit is released. He's been Dan Touche Nightingale.
He's been Felix Leiter. I do speak a bit of Italian because I worked in an Italian restaurant. As we mentioned on the Patreon special, I worked at Emilio's for 2 absolute nightmares in the kitchen called Giovanni and Diego. And Diego's nickname was Django the Bastard. And so this is it's actual Italian, I know. Che cazzo fai, which I think is what the fuck are you doing? Testa de cazzo, which is dickhead. Testa de minchia, which is another sort of dickhead. And vaffanculo, which I think is just go fuck yourself. So I learned so many bits of language by being bullied in an Italian restaurant. If anyone whinges at me, like if I buy a piece of clothing, Laura goes, what the fuck is that? I will wear it more. If you whinge at me on the internet about something, I'm going to lean in.
Lean in.